Hey, hello everyone. So last time we have talked about the team dimensions. We have talked about the role dynamic, cohesiveness, and then the performance norm. Let's start to talk about something regarding how to manage the groups and teams. The first we want to focus on that how to manage the functional team. By saying like a functional groups, a functional team, that means we have a comparatively big, right? Instead of focusing on the individual employee, we need to focus on the team as a whole. First, we need to understand or recognize the role dynamics. Remember, we have defined the different roles, and then the center, what is the center role, what is the received role, perceived role, and then what is the enacted roles. Members of the individual, they play different role. The high level to oversee different roles. And then we needed to focus on this cohesiveness. That means that we really treat this as like a group, right? So we needed to focus on this team dimension, group dimensions. But comparatively within the function, right? Within the department or within this function, we have smaller group. Call this like a work team, smaller work team with few people, right? With they can do their own job, and then we want to manage them. Tended to be like individually. We focus on two things. The first is the competence. We give them training. I'll give them the chance to develop. The second is we motivate them. There can be different levels of motivation. I think you still remember that. But here we focus on one, which is the participative approach, because we want them to be autonomous, right? So they can make their own decision. They can working on their own, take their own responsibility. So we give employees more say in their jobs. For smaller team, we focus on the individual more. It doesn't mean we don't focus on the team, but we are more towards the individual. The functional groups, we are more focused on the team, right? The role dynamic, cohesiveness, as well as the norm. The formal, we call this the formal groups, but we also have some informal or temporary groups. Usually, I like to call this task force as like a project team, temporary group within organization to accomplish the specific purpose or task. By integrating different functions, we have different functions. Members join this project team, and then they work together to have a common goal. A temporary project, like previously. My project was delivery. So I gathered people from purchasing department, from construction department, from IT, IM department, right? So we just come together to, let's say, have this delivery, let's say, project, accomplished. Usually we don't invite other low-level employee to join the team. We need someone that with certain power. They are joined the project, they needed to contribute, and then they also needed to go back to their functions and then ask for resource, ask for support, bring the information to the project team, and then also send the information back to their own functional team. Okay, so this is a very challenging relation, but also it is very important for the project. If they don't have the power, and then the project will never be done, okay, will never be accomplished. For the project team, they needed to focus on at least the three things. First is the common goals, right? What is goals? And then the resource, and then the time. The time is predefined, very likely. The goal can be somehow discussed, right? But the resource, for sure, we needed to negotiate. We needed to ask for this resource, or we call like the group needs, project needs from their own functional department. And then there's another one, we call it the managing the committee. I think the difference is the previous we talked about the project team or the task force. So we have common goal. We need to accomplish some certain things. Committees, in my opinion, it's more like making decisions. We have like a search committee. We like have a whatever, like a committee for events. We have few members. Let me just quickly get through this. When we talk about managing groups and teams in the organization, we have the mistakes to avoid, right? We know it's a team, members, right, in that team. So we cannot manage this team as individually. We have to manage the team as a whole. As I already mentioned, we focus on some high-level components. We talk about the First, we talk about the role dynamics, we talk about the cohesiveness, we talk about the norms, more focus on the team or group development. The difference, let's say, between the managing the individual and the managing the groups and teams is we needed to motivate the team. Usually when we want to increase their cooperation, collaboration, and the cooperation, we talk about the team building. One very important component we talk about is the conflicts solving. So as the manager, no matter you are like a functional manager or you are a project manager, you need to focus on how to quickly, how to effectively solve the conflicts. But then we talk about the team building. I don't use motivation for team. I use team building. We want to develop the team, right? We want to develop the, become like a performing team, effective team. We need to delegate authority to the team. We needed to clearly give them the power, what authority you have, right? They care, like if they need some resource, we need to provide them the resource. Otherwise, this group will not function. No resource, no clearly, let's say, no clear goals, right? No clearly delegation, process, what you expect them to contribute, okay?